Hello and welcome to episode 7 of the eTalk featuring Don, Brett, and Shri. This week we take on the hottest topic in the industry. As you all know, every single week for 10 minutes we discuss the buzz that is taking place with digital and e-commerce. This week's topic, Amazon's private label. This past week there was a lot of buzz around the fact that is this really going to make a dent in the CPG industry? Should other retailers really look at this phenomenon that's Amazon's private label and learn? Should they fear? Should they participate? Should they adapt? So we have a special guest today. Welcome Danny Silverman from Edge by Essential. And with Danny Silverman and with Don Brett today, we will decompose the answer. What should the CPG industry do with Amazon's private label? So Danny, can you introduce yourself to us and tell us what Edge by Essential does?
I'm Chief Marketing Officer at Edge by Essential. Edge by Essential is used by over 600 brands and retailers to monitor their market share on Amazon, to optimize the digital shelf at retailers around the world, and to monitor and action their price and promotion strategy. They also use a range of our consulting and advisory solutions to help optimize how they go to market.
Guys, tell us, is this really buzzworthy, Amazon and private label? And most of the press this past week seems to be negative. Amazon's private label is not really going to make it in the industry. Can you guys tell us what's going on? Danny, how about you?
There's no question that Amazon's private label strategy is a direct threat to brands. They need to consider that even while Amazon is launching hundreds of brands, if even one in their category is successful, that's the one they have to worry about. If an Amazon brand comes into their category and takes 3, 4, 5 percentage points, that's going to directly impact their growth trajectory and impact their sales performance for the year.
Don, why is there so much negative buzz this past week on Amazon's private label? Is it because in every category there's private label for Amazon, brand names are different? Does that make it elite? What's up, Don?
Great question, Shri. I'm not really sure why the implied news this week of, hey, Amazon private label, no big deal. It's fascinating to me. I believe the numbers are directionally accurate here. I believe Amazon has over 150 private label brands. I believe they have over 400 exclusive to Amazon brands. The fact that a brand would not be concerned about Amazon entering their space, to me, is fascinating. I think if even one brand is successful penetrating the industry that you're in and achieves a level of success, it's going to be very, very challenging for you and your brand to hit your financial targets for that year.
Of course, guys, it's old school legacy thinking to think Amazon's private label will not be elite someday or isn't already making noise in the industry. But what should a CPG manufacturer really do? Just SEM conquest a brand name? Can they do much more than that? Can they actually manufacture a private label? What do you guys think?
There are a few strategies and tactics that brands can consider when looking to combat private label on Amazon. First and foremost, it always starts with the fundamentals. Keyword optimized titles, complete images, video, your feature bullets and descriptions are e-commerce optimized. You have a minimum number of ratings and reviews, A+ content, so on and so forth. You don't have a chance of competing with your competitors, much less Amazon brands, if you don't have your fundamentals right.
Brands can absolutely be successful to combat Amazon's private label efforts. It requires some thought and some pre-planned work. There's 3 things that I would recommend. The first is have a very clear channel strategy. And from that, you would have what your assortment strategy is going to be, what your content strategy is going to be, what your pricing strategy, packaging, e-commerce friendly packaging. All of those things would funnel from the channel strategy, which would be step 1. The second thing I would do is understand your digital shelf health and integrity of your digital shelf. A brand would not be successful today if you go into a superstore, you go into a Walmart, for instance, and their product just looked terrible and their packaging was less than stellar and was kind of falling apart and they had just one bullet of copy on their box. So same thing with digital shelf. You need to have a fully optimized listing of products. Ensure you have the proper number of images, ensure you have a professionally copywritten item description, ensure you have the right number of videos, all of those critically important. The third thing that I would recommend is a significant investment, but also sharp investment in AMS. So I would be surgical with how I understood AMS in the space, how I was ranking for keywords, general category keywords, as well as my brand keywords, and ensure that you are spending enough to play for the upside, because there's so many entrants coming into the space that you might not be aware of that are likely bidding on keywords that you assume that you are winning, and in fact you might not be. So those would be the three things that I would recommend to be successful combating private label brands on Amazon.
So Danny, this one's for you. What data does Edge by Essential have, or what data can you refer to that can tell us what is the role of Amazon's private label in the CPG industry for vendors specifically? How fast is this phenomenon growing? What will it do to the CPG industry? And more importantly, what's the relative size of this? Should we be concerned? Should we participate? What should we be doing? Can you tell us what the data story is here?
You can visit our website at www.essentialedge.com, where we have a range of insights on various categories on Amazon, as well as other retailers in the US and around the world. You can also feel free to contact me or email info@essentialedge.com, and we'd be happy to share with you what insights we can on these categories. To take two recent examples, there was recently a takeover of an Energizer battery product detail page, where the majority of the page was taken over by Amazon batteries. We've never seen the type of ad unit that Amazon used. It literally took over 2/3 of the page. So when you were on the Energizer page, all you saw was Amazon Basics. We also saw recently where in mobile, Amazon is also experimenting with ads that pop up above national brand listings, and also have the potential to redirect a shopper who's already reached the product detail page where they might have otherwise converted. The thing that brands should be thinking about is the product and assortment that they're putting on Amazon, and considering whether it's optimized for the Amazon shopper. If you're just taking the assortment you have in brick and mortar and putting it on Amazon, you're missing an opportunity. You should be thinking about e-commerce ready packaging, variety packs that are unique to the channel, or other ways of delivering value to the shopper that they won't get from Amazon brand and they can't get from brick and mortar as well.
Thank you, Danny, for that. Of course, there ain't nothing better than backing up facts and insights with data. So I do appreciate you coming on board this week, Danny, as a special guest, and sharing that tidbit of data with us as well. Of course, Amazon's private label is elite and here to stay for the future. If you're a CPG vendor or a third-party marketplace vendor, you should be paying attention to the phenomenon that is Amazon's private label. Both Don and I want to sincerely thank Danny for being our first guest on the eTalk show. Danny, we hope you'll come back again and again, and together we will demystify digital, e-commerce, and the CPG industry. Guys, the show's made for you, so be sure to tune into episode 8 next week. Thank you.